You know, Jack, the world of sports, we were talking to Dan a little bit earlier about the variety, you know, in the fall, and then he went on to say, well, the spring is really our busiest time.
Yep.
And, you know, I think that applies. I think that does apply to a lot of other sports organizations and so on. One of them being the Sunshine Sports Conference.
And with us is the president.
I was trying to be smooth about that.
With us is the president of the Sunshine State Athletics Association now.
Association, yes.
Is Stuart Weiss.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So tell us about the association. This is not just a small group. So.
No, we're 130 plus schools now throughout the state that participate in our now 12 sports. We started back in 2008. Just a small handful of small schools that were looking for a way to compete. And so they formed the SSAC, and it was really not even a formal organization. It was just a bunch of schools that said, let's call ourselves the SSAC. And so I ended up getting into it when I was at Sefton Christian. We were looking for a place to play football. Seemed like a good place to start. And I got into there and then wound up getting the short end of the stick and wound up getting the presidency, and we've kind of just grown from there.
Yeah. But you started that, the organization started in 2008, right?
Yes, sir.
But you came on board as a president in 2012, so you've taken over responsibilities and, you know, all of that type of stuff. When you look at it as a whole, 139 schools, did you say? Are they primarily smaller schools? Are they public schools? Are they only private schools? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're a little bit of everything, but we're made by small schools for small schools. That was the whole idea behind the SSAC. You know, in the way that the system worked, everybody is just paired together by size, and a lot of times the schools that we have are very different. Some are very high academic and focus on academic, offer sports as just an activity. Others are sports central type of schools who devote to just trying to bring in athletes, and they offer academics there as well. And so the variety of types of schools are very vast. When you get to small schools where the number of athletes really are significantly lower, it can make a huge difference. 2 or 3, 4 or 5 athletes make a huge difference. And so there wasn't that parity out there for some of the smaller schools. And so that's kind of where we sprung out of. But since then, we've kind of grown into an organization that is, we have a zero tolerance policy for violations, for recruiting, things like that. We are very, very centric about kids that come in the school. You just play with who come in the school. We don't recruit them. Most of our schools are not sports focused schools, although they want to do well. They're not academies. They're not type of schools that are focused on just bringing in top level athletes, but they can go out and compete at any level. And so we've grown grassroots over the last 12 years since I've been the president. And we're now at 139 schools, and we've offered sports as we've gone to continue to meet the needs of our members.
Well, and you think about it, put it in perspective, there's 67 counties in the state of Florida, 139 schools. That's incredible. I mean, that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and I mean, so you being able to offer sports and keeping it competitive within the conference in small schools really means a lot to the students. I mean, as Sefton Christian, you're in an area with an awful lot of other schools right there that can be big or little, or Brandon High or Armwood is around the corner. So keeping it competitive really does mean something to the students.
It means everything. I mean, what sports does for kids. If you look at any poll throughout the country, if you look at the C-suites, the leaders of industry, the leaders of our government, if you look at them, the vast majority of them play sports in high school and college. And if you look and break that down, most of the people, I think they say the average is 38 to 40% of a student body actually plays sports. So you're taking the majority of leadership from a small portion of the school body. There's got to be something that they're getting out of that. And what they're getting is all the intangibles that you can't learn in a classroom. How to be part of a team, how to be part of an organization, how to fight through adversity, how to be a good teammate, how to lose, how to win. I mean, you learn all the things that you need in life to be a good member of a business and organization. And so for us, we want kids to want to be a part of that. And by that, that means they need to have a positive experience if they want to do it. If they go out and they're getting beat 60-0 every week and there's not competitive, the kids aren't going to want to do it and they're not going to want to be out there. So for us, it was important to build an environment where the kids could be successful and play with like-minded schools and have parity. And that's kind of what our brand has become known for, is that we have that parity level for small schools. And that's our goal, and we won't sacrifice that for anything.
And one thing that we've enjoyed here is hosting you guys an awful lot. So you're just recently had a volleyball tournament out at the field house that went gangbusters. Tell us about the having kind of a season opener, what that does for your association.
We do what we call invitational. We just had our volleyball invitational over at the Advent Health Center last weekend. And what it does for us, it allows our schools to get together and get a chance to play each other and kind of get some early season activity and competition, as well as we open it up to SSAC members and non-SSAC members. And so it's kind of our way of getting schools and organizations to know who we are. And so, we do it again through our parity level. We have what we call CCI. We use our rankings to try to put them together in classifications where they can compete. And it's very successful. We had a huge event this past weekend. I think we had 36 schools show up for that. And it was a 2-day event and very successful.
Yeah, there were an awful lot of happy parents.
Very happy.
Be out there and see their kid for multiple games, in that kind of a setting. So they were happy. The other thing that we host for you guys, football. Tell us about out at Bryant. So.
Well, football, is kind of where we all started, and that is the elephant in the room. It's the big sport that everybody kind of draws to, and that's where we kind of got our footing. And so we've grown to, we have a total of 83 schools playing football with us this year. But we host all of our championships at Bryant Stadium. And so we've had a very good relationship with Polk County and Polk County Sports Marketing and Tourism, and they've just been amazing to help us get these events put together. And so Bryant Stadium is an awesome facility to be able to host it at. It's conveniently located, being in Central Florida, and for us it's just been the best experience for our team. So we host all of our classifications from 11-man, and we're the only 8-man association in the state, and so we have 35 schools this year playing 8-man. We'll have those championships there as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. What is it, like Zephyr Hills? One of the schools there, I think, has an 8-man. I remember reading about.
They're all over
that. They're all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Several here in Polk County.
The homeschool world has grown exponentially.
It has.
And for a lot of good reasons, and we won't get into that. But is that an avenue, or is there an opportunity in SSAC to participate? I mean, can they do that?
Well, state law allows homeschoolers to participate. Allows homeschoolers to participate at schools throughout the state. We also have some homeschool cooperative, which are basically homeschool schools. They kind of coordinate all their academics and everything together, and they form schools. And so we have a couple of homeschool cooperatives that are members of our association. Yeah. So we have
Hillsborough Fire, right?
Tempe Heat, and some of those, and so there's some of those that are competing hours. They have to be a school in order to be able to participate as a school. Homeschool students can participate at public schools. They can play at private schools that will allow them to participate. So many homeschoolers participate in our league.
I have said this a lot publicly and privately, and you'll get to where I'm going as soon as I circle around here. You're a former policeman, Tampa Bay Police Department. Yeah. And to make the full circle, sports is an avenue that clearly you can pay to train kids, play sports, develop character, all of those good things. Or you can pay to incarcerate them on the back end. Society has a choice, and it's an easy choice. This isn't a Capital One commercial, by the way. But it is an easy choice.
It is.
Get them off the couch, get them out on the playing field. Do you see a connection there?
Oh, it's absolutely.
Former police department officer?
Absolutely. If you look at any stat anywhere, you look from grades, days they miss in school, truancy, kids that stay in school longer, all of those are athletic. If you look at the stats, kids who play athletics, stay in school longer. They have less dropout rate. They have higher grade point average. They have less days missed. They have less breaking the law, getting arrested, because they have something that they look forward to. They have something that guides them, develops them, shows them morals they typically have. If they don't have father figure or mother figures at home, they have them in sports through their coaches and through the people that work with them. And so, you know, in a perfect world, every kid would play athletics. And I think anything we can do to open that avenue for them is, I'm all for it, because I think the kids in this community and society will be better for it.
I wanted to get that one in there. That's like one of my pet things. You know, it's just, you're going to pay for it.
Can we have them just plug? So you still coach. Who are you coaching for?
I coach for All Saints Academy. I'm their head football coach.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
I do.
And tonight you play?
We play at Seven Rivers Christian up in Citrus County tonight in Lecanto, Florida. So we're playing at 7:30 tonight.
Awesome. Wow. Hopefully you have some good weather for that.
And I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we got fortunate with Idalia.
Yeah.
And got to count our blessings here in Polk County for a lot of reasons compared to Ian and Irma and the rest of that nonsense. But thanks a million for joining us. This is great.
It's been a blast. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview and want to watch more Sports Central, click the video below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.